So Souris may be known for its sea glass, but there's also a lot of sharp glass on the beach. So don't come here without footwear and beware of the sharp glass. So I have barely walked down to the beach and I found a tiny little piece already. But there's also some sharp glass here. So that's not going home with me. So there is lots of glass here. You get a keeper and a sharp piece. That's too sharp to leave because people swim here, so I have to take that to throw it in the garbage. And then you come over here and there's a piece that's a keeper and another throwback and another one. Okay, I'm starting to understand why people say this is the place to come for sea glass. It is just beautiful down here. We came at the right time because the tide's out. It's always good to sea glass hunt when the tide's out because you have more beach to hunt. The seagulls are crying. It's wonderful. There's a few people down here, but for a beautiful morning, it's pretty quiet. We came to town for the Sea Glass Festival, so the beach has probably been well walked with all the sea glass hunters. But we're going to enjoy a beautiful walk this morning. There's a piece that is a nice green piece, but unfortunately a little too sharp. So I found a few purple pieces along here too. But again, way too sharp to take. When we were walking along, I ended up with a pocket full of sharp pieces because I wanted to pick them up so kids wouldn't cut their feet swimming. And I came across this young fella down here who's picking up sharp pieces. He plans to throw them away. But then if I keep looking, I'll find a few, like here's a few tiny ones that are well finished, a little blue one and a little brown one. So it's worth the hunt. So we walked down here a ways and there are all these stakes coming out of the sand up close to where the marram grass starts. And I would suspect that this is an attempt to combat erosion. I find going around the different beaches in Prince Edward Island, we're seeing quite a bit of this anti-erosion attempts being made. That's kind of cool. A piece of pottery with green on it. Not super well finished, but I might have to keep that one. And there's a moon snail. I love moon snails. Oh, there's still a snail in it. Whenever you see a shell that still has something living in it, gotta leave that one behind. So I am finding a few pieces here. And that piece, the way the sun's shining, it looks red. But when you hold it up, you realize it's part of a beer bottle. Brown and very sharp. That one's not coming home. But then, I've been finding a number of tiny little pieces that are quite well finished and will be great for my mosaics. Right beside it, two that are too sharp. There's a ton of glass on this beach. It's just that the majority of it is too sharp. It's a sin to be seeing all these nice colors too. Like there's a beautiful aqua piece, but too sharp. I'm leaving it here. That one's not so sharp that it would cut someone's foot, but it's too sharp for taking home and using in my art. So I'll leave it here for some more work. Oh, there's a good green one. That one's really well finished. So I'm quite pleased with the treasures that I found that I'm going to take home. I have a few pieces of really nice sea glass. I found this really beautiful piece of aqua. It's not super smooth, but it's quite smooth. It's definitely smooth enough to use in my art. And I found a few broken moon snails that are super cool. So I thought I have to take those home too. And a few pieces of pottery, which is cool. And I just ran into a local person here who was telling me that a number of years ago there were some ships that lost some cargo that were full of bottles, and that's why we get so much sharp glass along here. But eventually that'll get all turned over and it'll be beautiful sea glass. I just think that you can't expect to have sea glass when glass has been in the water for only a few years. It takes years and years and years. They say 75 years to create sea glass. So someday all that sharp glass will be beautiful. So thanks so much for joining me for this walk. And if you ever get the chance to come down to Souris Beach in Prince Edward Island, don't miss it. It is beautiful. So you can come here for the Sea Glass Festival, the last weekend in July every summer, and then come and hunt on the beach, find a few treasures, have some peaceful time. You won't regret it. So hope you make it out to the beach, and happy sea glass hunting, everyone. There's a beautiful boardwalk that stretches along here. If you walk in both directions, you can get a 3-kilometer walk along the boardwalk, and it's really beautiful. Nice breeze off the water. So we walked out to the end of the boardwalk, and it is stunning. The view along here is so nice. A beautiful walk on a beautiful morning. You won't regret your time here. As you're walking along here, there's some information boards that will give you some information about Souris and the surrounding area. There's one all about the fish. Fish around here is so good. You have to eat fish. And there's one, we're right beside the little causeway that goes from one area of land to the other. And there's a history of shipbuilding board. Interesting stuff to read up on Souris when you're here.